Am I audible? No one is saying anything.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. So, guys, if you are like that, be attentive. Okay. So at least by the time that in the break time, okay. But after break time, be there at least and be interactive because class is for you only. It also improves your memory and everything. If you are like that and I can't continue the sessions also, you will get delayed. Okay. Anyway, so we're already started. So the first one is how to assign an IP address. Before assigning of an IP address, okay, what we are going to see it do it is we'll see the what is this manual and automatic small forms. We know every device must have an IP address to communicate in the network. Every device, whether it is your laptop or desktop or mobile phone or smart TV, if you are connecting to the network, means the device need an IP address, right? This IP address we can assign manually. We can assign manually. Also, it will get automatically also. If you assign an IP address manually, means it is static IP. If you are configure IP address to your network adapters manually, that IP address we call it as static IP. Static IP address can change manually. Means for my laptop, I assign an IP address based on my organization network, assign an IP address manually. So I can able to communicate in other devices in my network, no problem. So my class completed, I went to my home. Again, I have another network. So in my home network, based on my home network, again I have to change my IP address. Again, I have to change my IP address manually. In case in my home, I have a DHCP server. If I want to get IP address from that DHCP, so again I have to change from manual to automatic mode. Then I will get IP address automatically. But in a manual configuration, every time you change the network, you must change an IP address manually. Okay. So what is the advantage and disadvantage of manual? Where we use the manual IP address first of all. In your organization or office or home, you have a device. That device always requires same IP address. It's a stable device which is not for movement purpose, like a desktops, servers, printers, storage devices. Like they need an IP address always same IP, so that people can easily access with the same IP, not changing automatically time. Okay. Mainly for servers, compulsory you have to assign static IP only. Okay. There we use manual. In case your organization, you have a more number of devices. Like you have a 20 devices are there, for example. Not more, it is very less. 10, 20, 30 devices are there. So you do not have a DHCP server, no automatic. You can assign manually 10 devices, 20 devices, 30 devices, no problem. We can assign manually. The more number of devices means 100 devices, 200 devices, 500 devices, 1000 devices are there. It's very difficult to assign IP address to all the devices. More administrative burden. More administrative burden to assign IP address for all the devices in your organization. And also it leaded to possibly wrong IP addresses. You may assign IP address, wrong IP. Okay. it is possible that you are assigning an IP address, wrong IP address. IP conflicts also possible. Okay, typo mistakes, guys. So like instead of 170.16.10.12. So you put a 170.16.10.144. And 172, instead of 172, you put a 170.16.10.12. I said 172, it is here, so you put a 170. Possible, even for a small networks also people do mistakes. Possibility, mistakes are there. I have seen these mistakes. 170.16, instead of 16, they put 168. They got confused. Instead of 190.168, they put a 170.168. And instead of 192.168, they put a 190.168. Or sometimes they put a 190.16 also. So people will connect. So there's a possible wrong IP address. Conflicts. What is a conflict? You are started assigning IP address from device by device, you go and assign it. So you cannot put a more number of devices, difficult. So you put a people, so people are keep on assigning IP addresses for all the devices, and both by mistake, two devices with the same IP configured. If more than one device having same IP address, called a conflict. You assign IP address, more than one device with the same IP. More than one device assigned with the same IP address is IP conflict. Like two or more devices configured with the same IP address. Both host and network host is same. Then it is IP conflict. IP conflict IP address cannot communicate. Wrong IP address configured devices cannot communicate to other devices. Okay. So these are the possibility for problems with the manual configurations. And also not every device you can't assign IP address. Some devices are difficult to assign IP address manually. And not everyone knows how to assign IP address, right? Uh, Manually, like you are in our home. So a lot of people are non-technical people. Technical people also don't know how to assign IP address. The smart TV assigning IP address very difficult, right? So manual assigning follows. Okay. Where we use a manually assignment, so servers. Certain device which is required always same IP, so user can use same IP to access it. So not required to be a dynamic IP type. And other devices, you have a lot of devices, then go for a automatic type. If small number of devices are there, you don't want to go with the dhcp, then you can use manual configuration. More number of devices, manual configuration is more administrative button. Possibility of entering wrong IP address or IP conflicts also possible. Not everyone knows how to assign an IP address. Not every device you can't able to assign an IP address. The best solution is automatic. Automatic. So system get IP address automatically from the DHCP server. So that IP we call it as dynamic IP. Dynamic IP means IP address configured automatically. That's a dynamic IP addresses. Dynamic IP addresses, you may not get same IP always. Today I connected to our office network. Tomorrow I got an IP address. Tomorrow I may get a different IP. But in office same IP, but in my home, I may get a different IP generally. Today I got a 192.168.1.4. Tomorrow I may get a 192.168.1.8. It depends upon the router. Okay. So dynamic IP addresses can be changed. You may get the same IP or different IP, depends upon the DHCP server. You may get always same IP address or different IP addresses whenever you connected to that network. Okay. So in the IP, automatic IP, more number of devices go with the DHCP. Okay, so because devices will get IP address automatically, we can also reduce this wrong IP or conflicts. IP conflicts also will be reduces. Entering a wrong IP is almost none. Okay, that is automatic advantages. More number of devices they are having, so we can easily get an IP address. Not everyone not required to get an IP address. Sorry, not everyone required to know how to assign IP address because you are getting IP automatically. Okay, wrong IP address assignment, IP conflicts will be reduced or no longer an issue it is. But to assign IP address, we should not assign IP address to certain type of devices. Already I told that is servers. Certain devices like required always same IP, we should not use. That is only we should configure manually. Okay. IP address, you may get same IP always, you may not get same IP always. Whenever you are connected, you will get IP address automatically. What is the last one? Yeah, that's the point of automatic IP addresses. To get IP address automatically, we need a DHCP server. In generally, in your network, if you have a Wi-Fi router, the Wi-Fi router act like a DHCP server. Or you have to build a DHCP server on the Windows server or Linux server. You have to make a separate DHCP server. In our home or offices, we have a Wi-Fi router which act like a DHCP, which give you an IP address. So you want to configure IP address manually or automatically. First, you have to go to these steps. Okay. So go to control panel, network and internet, network and sharing center, change adapter settings. Okay. Then network connections window open. Go to your adapter, right click status or double click. Go click on the details to check your IP address configuration. Okay. Then that part you know it to check the IP address. But how to assign an IP address? We'll see this. Go to control panel. You can also use ncpa.cpl to go to network connections window. Network and sharing center. Change adapter settings. We got a network connection window. You can use ncpa.cpl to open this network connection window. In your adapter, double click on your adapter, right click on status. Click on the details, check what IP address you are getting. See, I got this IP address from this DHCP server. See, DHCP enabled as means you got an IP address from DHCP server and your option is automatic mode. And you got an IP address from this DHCP server. You want to configure, then go to the properties. Click on the properties. Okay, go to IPv4. Go to the IPv4 Internet Protocol version 4. IPv4 properties. Okay, obtained IP address automatically. Obtained DNS server automatically. See this? I'll put it here to show you clear. So I go to properties. These properties. Scroll IPv4 properties. What option it is selected? Obtained IP address automatically, obtained DNS server address automatically. So to this adapter, it is specified that get IP address automatically. What is this adapter will do? Our system will send a DHCP discovery packet to every system in the network. Then it will find a DHCP server. The DHCP server will give an IP offer to our system. and our system will request for IP address to DHCP. DHCP server assigned IP address to our system. Okay, so to my Windows network adapter, I specified obtain IP address, automatically obtain DNS server, automatically. So I will get IP address automatically. Look at this. This is DHCP enabled now. Means this IP address configured manually. No DHCP server address. Of course, other addresses also not configured. Go to the properties. Go to IPv4 properties. See, use following IP address. Use following IP address means manually configuring IP address. Use following DNS server address. Manual configuration. Again, see, if you want to give your own IP address, you can give your own IP address. Okay. So if you press the tab, it will go to the other locations. Okay. So assign IP address, subnet mask. If you have a default gateway, specify the default gateway. And if you know the DNS server, specify the DNS server also. Once you given everything, click OK, OK, OK. And finally, complete and open it. Click on the details. Are you able to see that same IP or not? Okay. So once again, so I'm going to this adapter details. You see, it is showing DHCP enabled yes, but it is not showing any specific type. It is showing auto configuring IPv4 address and 169.254 address and 255.0.0. No DHCP server address. Yes means from DHCP. But where is the DHCP server address? Why it is 169.254. Guys, already I told, for an adapter, you should configure IP address manually. Okay, you should configure IP address manually. For example, you configure IP address manually, something like 172. Just to show you, depends upon the configured an IP address manually. So it will show our manual IP. Just close it and open. It is better view. Okay. This is manually configured IP address to this adapter. In this network, the adapter connected network, if it is using this network, then they will communicate each other. Otherwise, it cannot communicate, of course. Manually configured. Then what is automatic type? So you have to go to IPv4, change it to obtained IP address automatically. The system and an adapter connected network in the system adapter connected network as any DHCP server will get the IP address here. Either you configure manually or you should get automatically. Okay. So when you select obtained IP address automatically, system try to find where is the DHCP server and get that IP address from DHCP. In case no DHCP server, what happened? You selected obtained IP address automatically, but there is no DHCP server. Not even a Wi-Fi router has a DHCP server. What happens? Okay, if no DHCP server in your network, what happens? System do not get an IP address from DHCP server. Of course, there is no DHCP server. Our DHCP server is, okay, sorry, I will reframe it again. Your system tried to get an IP address from DHCP because you selected obtained IP address automatically. System is trying to get an IP address from DHCP server. And the system failed to get IP address from the DHCP server. System failed to get an IP address from DHCP server. So no IP for your adapter. So what your system will do, system self-generated an IP address, system generate an IP address in the range 169.254 network range. It generates an IP address. Okay. So that range we call it as APIPA range, automatic private IP address range. If system unable to get IP address or system failed to get an IP address from the DHCP server, system assign an IP address itself from the APIPA range. What is the range? 169.254.0.1 to 169.254.255.254. Okay. Okay. So if system unable to get IP address from the DHCP server, it will assign IP address in this range, APIPA range. So whenever you check an IP address of an adapter and you look at that adapter IP address showing 169.254 dot something means your adapter not able to get IP address from DHCP. The system self-assigned IP address. Okay. This range we call it as APIPA, automatic private IP address range. So 169.254 means 169.254 means APIPA, automatic private IP address. So here it is. What is the reason why the device not able to get IP from DHCP? The reasons can be anything. There is no DHCP server. If you do not have a DHCP, either router has a DHCP or separate Windows server DHCP, Linux server DHCP, some applications also provide an IP address to DHCP server. Like this is a VMware virtual adapter. Maybe I stopped that VMware DHCP server. That's why I didn't get an IP address properly. Okay, so I have to check. But anyway, we want this output, we are getting that output. So our DHCP server is 169. Our DHCP server not connected to this adapter network. So we are unable to get IP address from DHCP. Either there is no DHCP server, a DHCP server is disconnected or down. There is no DHCP, or maybe you have a DHCP but disconnected. Our server is down. Our service is down. DHCP service is down in the server. Service is down. Okay. server is down, service is down. Okay. Are no IP address available. Every DHCP server has these many IP address, 50 IP address, 100 IP address will be released. All IP address are completed. It is given to every device. No IP address is available in the DHCP server. DHCP server is disconnected. I like to disconnect. Either it is not available, or disconnected, or down, or service is down. Up to that. Next point is maybe the DHCP server, the scope means IP address scope completely given to other devices, though there is no IP address is available. Or there is a yellow or deny list is there. In a DHCP server, yellow deny list. Maybe your system is mentioned or not mentioned. Okay, there is a possibility like a yellow all deny all type mentioned. So there, if there is any yellow or deny list for the DHCP server, so your system may not able to get it. Okay, these are possible reasons. These are all possible reasons. So what to do? First of all, you should go to the DHCP server. You have to go to DHCP server. What is the problem in the DHCP? Is DHCP server is available or not? First of all, connected or not? The service is running or not? Restart the service. If you restart the service, any pending requests are there also will be cleared. And check the DHCP scope and is any IP address are available. If not available, try to increase your scope size also. Okay, try to increase the scope. And is any allow or deny mentioned for DHCP? In case any allow or deny mentioned in the DHCP, if not required those lists, we can remove those things or modify according to our client system. So you have to make sure that is DHCP server is there, running, connected, service available, IP addresses are also available to provide an IP address. There is no allow or deny list, or it is your MAC address is allowed into the allow list. So if DHCP side okay, then your client will get an IP address from DHCP. You came back to your system, check your IP address, still showing APIPA. Now you went to the client and then you check your IP address, still it is showing like this only. No changes. Even DHCP running is good, but you are not getting an IP from DHCP. Okay, your system not updated with a new IP. It is still showing old IP. One more case is there, guys. I connected to one network now, or office network. Then I connected to different network. Different DHCP I connected, different network I connected. Based on that network, I should get an IP address. In my system, it is showing old IP only. It is not updating with a new IP address in the new network, new IP, new DHCP, but my IP address is not updating immediately. It's still showing old IP only. What to do? So you got an APIPA, maybe it is a DHCP server problem. You are resolve the DHCP side. So you should get an IP from DHCP immediately. Or you have your system configured with the IP address. It's dynamic IP only, you got already IP from some DHCP. Now you connected to different network, different DHCP, but IP is not changing. IP is not changing. For both the founders. One is it can disable and enable the adapter. So there is a disable button like this. Right click disable also, it is quite easy. Just disable adapter and enable adapter. So that is entire adapter things that cache data, previous data, everything will be cleaned and try to connect again. So try to get an IP again. General, but to example. Second one is through command prompt. Go to the command prompt, type ipconfig release and ipconfig renew. Go to the command prompt, type the command ipconfig slash release. IP config space slash release. What is it is? It remove your automatically configured IP addresses from your adapters. If you configure any static IP to any adapter, it won't be removed. But automatically configured IP addresses will be removed, flushed with this command IP config space slash release. I'm not running, guys. If I run it, so the problem is we will get disconnected because it remove my IP address, so we can't get connected. Again, I have to run this command IP config space slash venue. Again, system is trying to get an IP address from the DHCP. Okay, so your system showing APIPA address 169.254 network address, or your system showing some old IP, it's not updated with a new DHCP new network IP address. One is you can go to control panel. Okay, go to the network connections window, go to your adapter, right click, disable and enable it. And the very easiest one is command prompt. Go to command prompt, type IP config space slash release. It remove all automatically configured IP address from their adapters. Then IP config space slash renew. To renew your IP means again it will try to get IP address from DHCP server. So this is the point. Okay, guys, understand how to configure IP, what is static IP, manual IP, dynamic IP, automatic IP address, what is APIPA. Okay, if you see any IP address 169.254, that is APIPA address only. Okay, compulsory check your IP addresses and try to don't change your IP, but see the options of on your adapters. Go to option. Okay, properties, IPv4 properties. See that options. It will help you to understand. Tomorrow we're going to discuss about protocols, TCP, UDP, OSA model, how you will communicate between the devices with the understanding of OSA model, or networking commands. Another important is networking commands. Just using commands like that, we have a networking commands, some basic troubleshooting with a ping command. Okay, so that's it for today. Any doubts, questions? You want to say anything? Please tell me.